What's going on? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what on earth is happening to it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO right now is down 3.62%. Market's closing in roughly 10 minutes. 409 the low, 422 the high. So I did do a pre-market video during this time frame, which I did kind of anticipate, and I mentioned that once the market does open, there's a good likelihood that NIO is going to pull down. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. Some telltale signs of that is shorts increasing pre-market. Whenever you see that, usually NIO does get hit during the trading day. There hasn't been any recent updates since my video that I put out earlier today, so it's just kind of piggybacking off of the broader market. There is one thing that did come out though that I'm very, very surprised that NIO didn't really react to. If anything, during that time frame, it went down to the low for the day, but there was this right here. So it looks like the relationship between the US and China are very good. So there hasn't been any further updates on the whole tariffs and stuff like that, but seeing this should give a sense of optimism. Some Chinese stocks have obviously did move up in accordance with this, but NIO, I don't know. NIO seems to be just something is fundamentally broken with it. The fact that it didn't even budge. All of this right here is algorithmic trading. So as per normal, you have a lot of activity first thing coming from shorts as well as just big money when they are involved. So right now, shorts are increasing 576,000 shares. 12.13% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 191.97 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 3.76. Then utilization is 94.05. Just looking at what shorts have been doing on this teal line, so they did increase quite significantly first thing, so that's what kind of brought it down. In case you don't know, by shorts increasing, they're adding selling pressure. So this is honestly, NIO's technicals is a very rinse and repeat cycle. So first thing, first half of the day, you have a lot of activity. Shorts, any institutions that are either buying or selling usually do occur during the morning, but the rest of the day is just algorithmic trading. So it is a very, very weird stock. There's been a lot of signs that it does really want to break out, just it's missing that nice, like, good catalyst. But aside from that, no actual news associated to NIO, no SEC filings, nothing like that, just shorts doing its thing. One thing I do want to bring up is the options. So 2.95 million in calls, 1.06 million in puts. 50% of all the options being done are optimistic in nature, so that's something to bring up. And plus, you're seeing a little bit higher volume, options volume, in comparison to the last two trading days. So yesterday 3.5, day prior was 3.9. So generally pretty good stuff for that. At least it goes to show that some optimism, and again, 50% of all the options being done are optimistic today, kind of pointing for it to be above roughly 4/450. So again, that's relatively good, possibly. And then you have these random kind of spurts throughout the randomly, it looks like February 21st, $6 strike price, March 21st, 2025, you also have that $6 strike price, $8 strike price by April 17th. So seem to be like people just are throwing random numbers at the wall. I'm not really sure exactly where they're getting these numbers from, if it's encumbering some specific catalyst or not. If you know any of these dates and why people would be very optimistic for April, let me know your viewpoint on that. On a side note though, if you actually are generally optimistic on NIO and you feel like it is going to appreciate, this and these entities, individuals that are buying these random ones, that's actually how you make a very decent amount of money. A lot of stocks I've covered, such as even looking at my watch list, like SoundHound has gone up massively over the last 1 year. SoFi has done the same. So if you are generally optimistic on a stock, even though it might look relatively bearish, in the future, in the next couple months, if it does go up, let's say for instance NIO, then yeah, you could make some pretty good money. So that's what these individuals are assuming. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $4. So there is a little bit more upside than down, given everything. Right now with it at $4.13, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So $4.11 is going to be that next strong support. Kind of bounced off of that general area for the low today, and then 401 is going to be the following support. 426 and then 442 are going to be the next strong target slash resistance points. No actual news associated to NIO or like any analyst ratings, nothing like that. On the actual chart, it's kind of breaking down, unfortunately. So another scenario played out exactly like beginning of January, end of December, as well as beginning of December. Maybe it's kind of a bi-monthly type of thing. It just rallies and then fades off, rallies, fades off. Overall, the trend is moving lower. So one point to really watch for is that $4 range, because the moral of the story when it comes to technicals, you always want to make higher highs. You never want that to break. So if you are having kind of lower lows, so if it does break again below that 4, then this is where you'll see a next leg down, similar to what has happened over the last little bit. So what is your viewpoint on NIO? Are you generally optimistic? Do you think that it is going to hit that $8 range by, let's say, when was this, April? Or do you think it's going to just kind of fade into nothingness? News did come out recently about Nikola, so they look as though they are going to be the next EV that does file bankruptcy. There's been I think a couple, so Fisker, I think there's 2 more as well that did file in 2024. Nikola, like I said, I wouldn't touch this with a 2-foot pole, but I think Workhorse as well isn't that far behind. So EVs are struggling, and so there's going to be a lot of years of just acquisitions. And so yeah, let me know your viewpoint. Do you think NIO is going to get low enough where it does get acquired? I know there was that rumor that came out, was it like 2 weeks ago or something? Logically, it does make sense. NIO actually does produce something at a very good rate, has a good infrastructure. So if someone wants to get into the EV sector and has a lot of money, roughly around $9 billion, that's if they do a hostile takeover, then yeah, so be it. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.